To remove the, this is the main seal carrier. To remove that O-ring, you just take a straight pin and tease it out. It comes right out. If I had a pin, I didn't bring one. I hadn't expected to remove it, but that comes right out. And then as far as the main seal is concerned, you can just punch that out from the back. I had assumed that most of the people who would be interested in doing this are already familiar with the self-service kit. Taking out the main seal and O-ring is very much like servicing the side cover seal and O-ring that you find in the side cover. As long as we're talking about the side cover for a moment, I'd like to bring your attention what von Staal refers to in the factory diagram as their roller. That's on the inside of the main gear. This piece, those of you who've done self-service utilizing your self-service kit are familiar with this. This is the little roller that keys into the traverse guide, and it spins on something that they refer to in the factory diagram as the spindle. People sometimes overlook that. When you take your side cover off and do your regular service, you really need to take a look at that and make sure that it's free. This roller is supposed to do exactly that. It's supposed to go up and down within the traverse guide as you crank the handle. If they become worn or have a flat spot, they'll stay stationary and they won't move, and that's going to create havoc inside the reel because it's going to cause wear. When I say wear, it's going to wear the traverse guide prematurely. So you want to make sure, A, if you're using grease, the Rio lube that von Staal suggests, if you're using that, you should put a dab on the roller before you reassemble the reel, and you really need to make sure that that's free. If it's not, you have to replace that. I would not suggest putting a reel back together and using it if the roller is not free. And of course, to change the roller, you'd have to send it back to one of the factory service centers. Okay, so what we find is that this seal is going to experience, if it's a 4-to-1 ratio, 4 times the rotation as the handle. So if the handle seal wears and will allow water in through the side cover, that seal is going to wear and also allow salt water to come in through the front. So you should be able, or it would be beneficial, to change that seal as well. In order to do so, you have to build some tools and you have to buy some equipment. The first thing you're going to need is a press. You can go out and spend a couple of $100s on a press. This press was available from eBay. It was $50 delivered. It's from China. It's not a precision instrument, but for our purposes, it's terrific. And as I said, including shipping, it's $50. It comes from drop ship from Northern Tool. Some fella on eBay must have a deal with them. You buy it from him, but the box that comes says Northern Tool on it. And it's quite heavy. How they can do it for $50 is beyond me, but that's what I paid for it, and I'm happy to have it. So you need that. The press plate I bought, you can make one of these out of a block of wood. It's no big deal. It was just more convenient to buy this. And that's also available off of eBay. The other tools I made out of a bait board. For want of a better term, I'll call this a fixture. I call it an immobilizer. And the purpose of it is to hold everything still so that you can get the pinion off. It holds the pinion still, and now you can spin the pinion, making it really quite simple. I purchased some high-density polyethylene. It's called HDPE. It's available from a place called US Plastics. If you Googled US Plastics, you'll get their catalog, and you can buy this stuff by the foot. This is 2-inch high density polyethylene. You want to use HDPE for the simple reason that you want to take an imprint of the pinion. If you take a look, you'll see that the teeth of the pinion have been pressed into the HDPE. If you use hard nylon, the hard nylon is too hard and will actually ruin the pinion gear. I tried that, trust me. The hard nylon doesn't work. You want to use the high density polyethylene, which is relatively soft. And so what's going to happen is that when you put this in the press and you press down on it the first time, you're going to get an imprint of the teeth. You're actually going to make a wrench. And once you have that wrench, you can spin the pinion off the sleeve guide. Now, you'll notice this cup. This is a Toyota oil filter wrench. It's available from an outfit called Asenmacher Tools. The sole purpose of that is to accept the wrench so that you can gain leverage when you go to spin the pinion off. If you take a close look inside, you'll see that I placed a metal disc underneath the crown so that the press is not grabbing onto the polyethylene, it's spinning on this metal disc. So when you turn it, it slips. You don't want this digging in to the high density polyethylene. One thing about the HDPE, you're going to have to shave it down a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. You're going to have to shave it a little so that it fits into the oil filter wrench. The first one I made myself, kind of butchered it up with a Dremel tool, and then I made a call to my friend Don from After Hours, and he turned it on his lathe so that it fits smoothly into the cup. I'm not suggesting Don is going to do that for everybody. He'll kill me. He'll get orders for HDPE turning it. But however you get it, it's perfectly okay to do with a Dremel tool. What you want to do at that point is take a countersink and make an indentation smaller than the pinion gear. You can do it with a drill press, you can do it with a hand drill, you can do it with a countersink, and you just drill in just slightly smaller so that the pinion gear will fit just a little bit, maybe a quarter of an inch, and it has nowhere to go. It has to unscrew when you squeeze it down in the press. And so that way you'll be able to change bearings and change the main seal and keep salt water out from inside your reel.